welcome on in to another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, Will beside me, Ryan down below, and we are ready to break down some Monday NHL action. We have 6 games on the slate today, and we'll go through all 6, and then we'll give our best bets at the end. We'll jump right into the very first game that we have, and that's the Colorado Avalanche and the Philadelphia Flyers. In this one, you can find Colorado minus 188 to minus 210. Philadelphia is plus 160 to plus 175. 5.5s right across the board in this one here. This isn't the first game that we'll see a 5.5 on today's slate, and it's a little bit surprising here. This game's tough for me. So Colorado, obviously, coming off a 5-1 loss to Boston, but really nobody should really feel bad about losing to Boston, especially in Boston, because the Bruins have shown so far this season that they are the best home team in the NHL. But Colorado has bounced back. They are a bounce-back team. They usually bounce back after a loss. And what a perfect team for them to face here than the Flyers. But I watched the entire game with the New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers gave the Devils everything they had, and they were a pain in the butt to play against. The Devils didn't have a shot for like 15 minutes between the first and the second. They just 15 minutes of hockey, and they couldn't get a shot in goal. This Flyers team, I don't know. This game ultimately is a pass for me. I think Colorado bounces back. They definitely should against this Flyers team, but the Flyers play like they did against the Devils with the amount of injuries that Colorado has because they're piling up injury-wise. I could see potentially where Colorado wins this by 1. So I'm off the puck line. Definitely not backing the Flyers. A total of 5.5. Potentially an under, but Colorado's been going over as of late. This game is just ultimately a stay off for me. Will, Avalanche, Flyers, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about playing the under 6 minus 110. I didn't notice the move to 5.5 already. That was only an hour ago or so. Yeah, I have this game pretty much handicapped the same. My line is minus 200 each side, so a little bit of value to Colorado, but that gets taken away with all the news we heard this morning of the line mix-ups at Avalanche morning skate. We have no idea who's playing with who, if it's going to be AHL players, ECHL players. I think they're going to keep Cogliano and O'Connor together on the third line. So it looks like McKinnon's getting 2 new line mates tonight. It could be interesting, but I'm going to stay off. I agree with Terry's sentiment. Philadelphia deserved a better result the other night. New Jersey got 2 quick goals in the third period. I wish it would have cashed for that puck line as well, but Philadelphia really deserved a point at least, if not 2 that night. So it hurt more because New Jersey had the 2-goal lead, but I just don't like this spot. I could see Philadelphia winning, and plus 170 is juicy, but I don't like this game. It's a stay away.
All right. Yeah, you can definitely see Colorado as a parlay killer. Potentially. But then again, they could destroy Philadelphia 6-0. So that's why I'm off the game, because I don't have a good read on it. Ryan, do you have a good read on this game, Avalanche and Flyers?
No, don't have a good read on it. It's a tough game to cap, and this is a tough card because there's a lot of moving parts in the lineups for these teams. The Colorado has 8 of 18 players are Colorado Eagles, so this is basically a minor league team. And at some point, like, you have to look at the Flyers, right? With this many injuries, there is a crossing point where, you back a team that's only won one of their last 13 games, and there's a case to be made for backing the Flyers in this one. But I'm not getting there. There's some value in some of these props, like for Colorado, Newhook's probably going to get, it'll be in a favorable position to score a goal. But it's going to take some imagination, right? Because he hasn't scored a goal in a while. And I also inclined to back Comfer just because he's white hot. He had 2 goals the other night, and it could have been a hat trick easily. So I think he might be a better look for a prop. But it's a really tough game to cap, and I'm mostly staying off. I think there's possibly a lean to the team total under for the Flyers because they haven't scored. They just don't score many goals, and I like Gorgiev as a goalie. So I think that would be if forced to play a side or total, it would be the team total under for the Flyers.
I also like, just for tonight, because of the lineup moves, Hudon isn't up yet on Caesars, but pairing these new line mates with McKinnon and Rantanen to get an assist or for them to get a goal could be a move. I would wait for this lineup to come out. I saw Cogliano from McKinnon at plus 600. If they're line mates for 15 minutes tonight, that's a great price. So I definitely look for the lineup to come out.
All right. If you have access to same game parlays, they can be very profitable. I know Bet365 allows you to do them, Caesars as well. Other books allow you to do the same game parlays, but like DraftKings, it's only a goal. So with player props in the same game parlay, you can only bet a goal. You can't do a point and stuff. And it's better to have access to the points. But we'll move on to the second game. One of my favorite games of the day. We have the St. Louis Blues and the New York Rangers here. You can find St. Louis plus 143 to plus 150. The Rangers minus 165 to minus 196. 5.5s and 6s in this game here. I guess I'll start off with both of these teams are struggling. Neither of these teams are playing well right now. But if you look at what the St. Louis Blues team is doing, I'd say that I'm sorry to see them playing as they are, but everybody would know that is a lie. I'm not a big fan of this Blues team. Binnington, I was right on about him in the offseason. Letting Husso go was a big mistake for this Blues team because without him, they have a huge goaltending issue. Binnington, in his last 5 games, has lost all 5 and has allowed 5+ goals in 4 of the 5. So he lost 6-2, he lost 5-2, he lost 4-1, he lost 6-4, and he lost 6-2 his last game. Binnington has been absolutely awful, and he's starting tonight against his Rangers team. On the other side for the Rangers, Shesterkin has not looked like himself as of late. And I'm on the over 6 in this one. You can get it over 5.5. I would definitely recommend that. And it might be crazy for me to say this, or it might sound a little bit crazy. But for my over, I was hoping for Shesterkin, not Halak. And I know you might be like, what? Halak has actually been decent his last few starts, giving up 2 goals. He's actually played decent his last few starts. Not the last one in Chicago, but 3-1 win against Ottawa, 3-2 loss against Anaheim, 2-1 loss against Nashville, 3-2 loss against Detroit. So previous to his last game, he'd been playing well. Shesterkin allowed 3 goals and a 5-3 win against LA, 4-3 loss to Edmonton, 5-3 loss to New Jersey, 3-2 loss to Ottawa. Surprisingly, Halak has been the better goalie the last few starts, which is crazy to say. I was hoping for Shesterkin. It is Shesterkin. While I expect him to want to bounce back in this spot, St. Louis has been able to score goals as well, but they're just giving up so many. I don't know why this is at a 5.5. I love the over 6 in this one. I also have Chris Kreider to score a goal at plus 130 and Mika Zibanejad to score a goal plus 130. Both the top 2 scores for the Rangers. I think the Rangers offense gets going in this one, and the Blues continue to allow goals in bunches. Will, Blues and Rangers, what do you think here?
Yeah, I've stayed off this game. Both the over/under and the money line seem right to me. The market seems pretty accurate. I have St. Louis, New York at 143 minus 143. I saw Kev, he's at 138. So it seems our models align on this game. I think the market has it priced pretty well. I will say my raw outputs have this game under 5 goals. both in home and away splits and full season stats. That's just where they are. I'm not going to be playing it. My projection comes to 5.22 with the model, and with a 5.5. I'm just not going to be playing those this year. This is a game to stay off for me. Maybe a draw bet, but I would probably like a live draw bet better, especially if a team's winning going into the third, maybe up 2 with the way this season's going. But probably stay away.
All right. Ryan, Blues and Rangers?
Yeah, I'm staying off this one mostly as well. I thought it was really hard to cap. And the Blues are shaking up their lineup for this game. And also they're defensive. So they're doing a lot of shakeups. Binnington got benched in his last start. So not only is he not doing well, but like they're trying to motivate him. And, there's got to be a lot of pressure on him because, Greiss as a backup is not worth it at all. He's not doing much of anything. So, I can't back the Blues in this one. I have trouble getting there with the over on this because the Rangers have been having so much trouble scoring. They really only score 2 or 3 goals. They just don't have. It just doesn't seem like they have the ability to put 4 or 5 goals in a game, which you'd want to see for something like this. With the shakeup, I think there's value on Braden Shen at plus 325 to score a goal, and also O'Reilly at plus 275. Both will get some power play time, but I'm going to stay off this one.
All right. We'll move on to the next game, Vegas Golden Knights and Boston Bruins, the game of the night here on this slate. You can find Vegas plus 145 to plus 158. Boston minus 175 to minus 200. Sixes, I see 1.6.5 available as well in this one. We all know what Boston's doing at home. I mentioned it earlier on in the show. I believe 14-0-0. 14-0-0 at home this year. They continue to just win games. Their last 3, Carolina, Tampa Bay, and Colorado. So those are 3 good opponents. Now they have Vegas coming in here, and I don't know about this game. If I'm going to play anything in this game, which I probably will get to it, is the draw. I think we get a close game in this one. Boston and Carolina did go to overtime in the game they faced each other there in Boston. I think this could be a good draw spot. I need to see if Eichel's in the lineup. I just don't know. So I'm ultimately staying off this right now. I think this will be a great game to watch, but betting wise, I can see Vegas upsetting, winning something like 3-1. I could see Boston winning 5-0. I could see this going over. This is a tough game for me, so probably a pass. Small lean on the draw. Will, Golden Knights, Bruins. I know you're not passing on this game. What do you think?
No, so I have the Bruins with about a 7.5% edge, and this is after the line movement towards the Bruins because it opened around minus 150. I have this game about a 2.1 goal differential, and honestly, the Bruins are just playing much better than the Golden Knights right now, overall, home and away, and specifically when you have this matchup where the Golden Knights go on the road. The only thing I don't like about this game is we might see Adin Hill again. I don't know why Logan Thompson hasn't been confirmed yet. But a lot of people are talking about Eichel being game time decision, but no one's really talking about the fact that Pietrangelo is out tonight, which is a huge factor. I think that's part of the movement that happened in the last 24 hours. And because of that, I'm still on the Bruins tonight. I went Bruins 3-way minus 110 at Canby. I would probably play to about minus 120. I think the Bruins have won 12 of their 14 games at home in regulation, but I don't have that statistic on hand. How about you, Ryan?
So I'm on the Bruins puck line in this game, and I can tell you how I got there, and that is that I'm not 7 in front of this home streak, and when the Bruins win, they win by margin. So, if you're gonna pay the price for the Bruins, in my mind, the better value is the puck line. I agree. Also, I paid for this quite early. It was speculative that Eichel was not going to play, and we don't know. But I just think there's value on the Bruins here. And I'm not stepping in front of their streak. And if you're going to bet them, bet the puck line. So I'm on the Bruins puck line in this game. I think there might be some value on who plays Jack Eichel's spot on the power play for Vegas, and we don't know who that's going to be because I don't think he's missed a game yet this season. So props on Nicholas Raw, Riley Smith, or Phil Kessel could be worth your investment. But we don't know what the lineups are going to be for this game. But it's worth keeping an eye out.
Also want to mention the Bruins. I have them rated at about 1.3 expected goals against at home at home. And the other night I had some friends asking me, why is the Avalanche team total 2.5? And then the Avalanche proceeded to score 1 goal. So think about Vegas Golden Knights under 2.5. I think it's plus money. I haven't checked, but I have that projected about 1.7. And this defense is very good, no matter if it's Swayman or Ullmark.
For sure. Boston's been the biggest surprise this year, I think, because most people had them. A lot of people, not me, I'm proud to say, a lot of people had Ottawa flying past this Bruins team, the Bruins team falling out of grace, and that has not happened so far this year. We'll move on to the next game. I posted a free pick in this game on Picks and Parlays, so it is available to everybody for free, and I will obviously give it out here as well. We have Washington plus 130 to plus 143, Edmonton minus 150 to minus 172, 6.5 right across the board in this one. And basically, Washington is coming off 5-2 loss their last game. Darcy Kemper was injured with an upper body injury, which is most likely a concussion. Nothing has been confirmed, but it is most likely a concussion. Washington is going to Charlie Lindgren, who has lost his last 2 starts and then lost the game in relief for Kemper. He allowed 5 goals in both of the starts he lost. He allowed 2 goals on 9 shots after coming in for Kemper in the 5-2 loss to Calgary. He has not been playing well, Lindgren, this year for the Caps. The Caps don't play very well on the road. Edmonton, 4-1 in their last 5 games. All 5 went over 6.5. Edmonton has actually gone over 6.5 in 7 of their last 8 games. So they have been high scoring. And if you look at Stuart Skinner, who's confirmed in net, his last 5 starts all over 6.5. Washington won the previous meeting this year, 5-4 against Edmonton, and that went over 6.5. My free pick in this game, over 6.5. I see goals on both sides. And if I had to make a lean with a side, I would go with Edmonton, most likely in regulation. But preferably maybe Edmonton team total, depending on what that's at, would be the way I would go for it. I see goals. I am also on a same game parlay. I have Alex Ovechkin to get a point, parlayed with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl both to get 2 points for plus 250. I think the big guns for both teams come out in this one in a high scoring affair. Will, Capitals, Oilers, what do you think here?
Yeah, I have the Washington Capitals with about a 4% edge at plus 134. I think DraftKings has plus 145 available, or at least it did about a half an hour ago. So I'm on the Capitals money line tonight. I'm a lot lower on Edmonton than a lot of people. And I know, Edmonton's been winning lately and it seems nice, but all of the offense is coming from 2 players, McDavid and Draisaitl. It's going to continue to happen, and it's going to catch up to them when they stop scoring on the power play. I'm looking right here, the relative expected goal percentage, and players that are plus on this team Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Tyson Barrie, Zach Hyman, and Evan Bouchard. 6 players. It's a bad team. That it's as simple as that. And if you're going to keep giving me prices of plus 145 when a good team's coming to town just because Kemper got hurt the other night, I'm going to be hitting that. So I'm on the Capitals money line tonight. Hopefully McDavid and Draisaitl don't go off on the power play like they did against Montreal the other night, which, again, I think Montreal deserved to win that game as well. I'm interested to hear what Ryan has to say and if he agrees with me.
Yeah, 3 cappers and 3 different picks on the game. So I'm on Edmonton on this one. I saw when the line came out, it was right on that edge of chalk that's acceptable. It was 138 or something like that. So I paid that price on Edmonton. I don't trust the Capitals to score here, and they've been involved in a lot of unders recently, and they're also a very poor road team. They've only had 1 road win since October 29th. So I'm backing the Oilers in this one. I think the team total is worth a look, and I think the regulation price on the Edmonton, which is even money, is worth a look. But we're also dealing with a lot of uncertainty here. I think the Ferravari injury for the Capitals is a big deal. Like this is a team that's got a ton of injuries, and they don't need like a key player being out again. I saw somewhere that Zach Hyman's not playing, and that Kyler Yamamoto is going to be on the top line. And then I saw, there's another site that's got something completely different. So I'm not sure who Edmonton's putting out there. I'm not sure who's in goal for Edmonton. Some people are saying Skinner, but Goalie Post has Jack Campbell on that. So I don't. There's a lot of uncertainty. It's hard to cap these games.
Sorry, I was just quickly checking that because I seen that Skinner was confirmed. Oh yeah, Jack Campbell's profitable. So they haven't oh, Murray for Leafs tomorrow. Okay. That's for tomorrow, but obviously I was looking at that game earlier. Yeah, nobody's been confirmed on Goalie Post, but it is Stuart Skinner in net per other sites.
I do want to mention my number for the game is 113 for the Capitals, so I still have them only winning 47% of the time. So even though I'm playing it, they're still not the favorite to win the game. Just throw that out there.
All right. I want over. Will wants Washington, and Ryan wants Edmonton. So give us over, and one of you will be happy. If you had access to Bet365, they have a same game. Or sorry, they have if your team goes up 3 goals and you're on the money line, you get paid out. So that would be the only way the 3 of us all could win. But other games on the slate, as long as we all have a winning night, that's what we all want. Arizona and Calgary in this one, you can get Arizona plus 260, plus 283. Calgary minus 300 to minus 385. 6s and a 6.5 available in this one. I'll be very, very quick with this one. Calgary should not be minus 385 in this game with how they've played. But as much value as there is on Arizona at plus 260 to plus 283, I don't think they win this game. I do think Calgary does win. But obviously, you'd have to take them on the puck line, which is minus 120 to minus 133. I think it's more likely Calgary probably wins by 1. So you could look at Arizona plus 1.5, which you can get for plus 110 to plus 100. That would be the way I would go. But I guess I don't have the balls to bet Arizona in this one. I don't like betting on the Yotes very often. And this is not going to be a spot I do it. But I'm definitely not taking Calgary on the puck line on this one. We'll go to Ryan first this time. Switch it up. What do you think? Flames and Yotes.
Yeah, ultimately pass for me. Although I think of all the big favorites, I think Calgary is going to win this game. Because if you look at the history, Arizona just does not win in Calgary. Like you have to go back like to 2017 or something, the last time they won a game in Calgary. So, but the one narrative that you could look at this is Vejmelka has been playing well, and when he hasn't obviously doesn't win all his games, but he there's a lot of draws, right? He loses games in overtime. So the draw could be worth a look. I think the draw is a better if you're feeling your oats and want to bet for Arizona, play the draw, not on an outright win. And the draw is like plus 440.
Yeah, for sure. Will, Yotes and Flames, what do you think here?
Yeah, so I have this projection around a little bit over 5 goals. So I would look at the under, especially with the way Vejmelka's playing. I think he's could be a Vezina Trophy candidate this year. He's not going to win it because of how good they are, but watching some of these games, he keeps this team in the game by themselves. And I heard a few people talking, I think it was Ian Cameron, about how these last few games on this road trip, they've really stopped playing well in the defensive zone. And it's true. And Vejmelka's keeping him in these games. I have Arizona with about a 5% edge. Still only a 30.5% chance of winning the game, but the number they're offering is about a 25% chance. So I'm willing to take that on the money line. I don't really take plus 1.5s here because there's just no point. I don't like to risk it for a, minus 115 or minus 120. So I'm going to take the Coyotes money line. And one other thing, just looking at the last 6 games, they lost in shootout to Nashville. They beat Carolina, lost in shootout to Detroit, lost to the Wild by 1. Were up 3-1 against LA and lost. And last game, they were up 2-1 going into the third against Vancouver. This team can play with NHL caliber teams, and there's no reason they should be plus 300. And I understand it's the 18th game, but games 12 through 17, they played pretty damn well. So I'm on them tonight.
All right. IceX says risk it for the biscuit. Yeah, the plus 1.5 for the Yotes is actually plus money. So yeah. Especially if they've been getting close, because imagine they do lose 3-2 in overtime. You could have cashed a plus money play with a plus 1.5. I get what you're saying. Everyone likes different caps differently, and
yeah, I hear that. I just think the chance of a minus 350 plus favorite to win by more than 2 goals and to get out to a quick lead is just more than that. I don't have the data. I haven't gone back and back tested that. I just, especially this year and last year, it doesn't seem to be worth it with the amount of games that end up 5-0 or Arizona would win. Those seem like the 2 options. And it, like Minnesota the other day, they had a backdoor cover, but they were down 4-1. And I wouldn't even have been happy if I won the plus money there because they shouldn't have covered there. Like I'd rather take the money line and win 3-1. Then take a plus 110.
All right. Well, everyone's different.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the final game of the night. Montreal Canadiens and the Vancouver Canucks. You can find Montreal plus 190 to plus 210. Vancouver minus 225 to minus 270. 6.5s right across the board. And this one, Vancouver is minus 225 to minus 270. Should Vancouver be this big of favorites with how they've played this year? The answer, in my opinion, is no. In the other game, the Yotes game that we just talked about, I said how the price can be, the price is appealing, but I don't believe the Yotes. I don't believe the Yotes win this game. This game is a little bit different. The price is appealing, and I think the Canadiens have a good chance in this one. So I'm taking them at plus 205 here. I think they have a good shot of winning against Vancouver. This could be a potential draw as well. I think this is going to be a close game. So it could be a potential draw play. But I had to take Montreal on the money line because this is the type of games to take Montreal when they're a big underdog. And I won't take them as a favorite the rest of the year. But when they're a big underdog like this, this is the time to look at them. Will, Canadiens, Canucks, what do you think here?
Yeah, I agree with you. I have the Canadiens without about a 7.5% edge, about a 40.5% chance to win tonight. So it's still below 50%, but I have Canadiens money line as my play. And I'm actually waiting right now for a better price. If I can get plus 220 by puck drop, that would be great. I see Circa's at plus 218. If that keeps climbing, I'm just going to keep holding off for a better price. The Canadiens, they got a lucky win against Calgary, and then they outplayed Edmonton in Edmonton and got unlucky with about 6 or 7 straight minutes of killing penalties in the second period. And Edmonton scored 2 quick goals, and Edmonton kept scoring on the power play, and Draisaitl and McDavid took over. But the Canucks don't have those 2 players who can take over a game like Draisaitl and McDavid. And I think that if Montreal comes out tonight and just plays a good brand of hockey, I mean, I've watched these last few games. They've been taking dumb penalties. The reactions that Martin St. Louis is making on the bench are hilarious. He's actually mad with his players for being stupid. And it comes different when it's a player who was playing 5 years ago. And I think that this team wants to play well for him. And all of that together, combined with the numbers telling me this game should be closer to plus 140, I'm just on Montreal at plus 200. I don't think the Canucks deserve to be a favorite like this. How about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I agree with everyone here. I don't understand the line. This should be closer to a pick'em game. I don't understand why the Canucks are such heavy favorites here. And I thought there was some piece of news that I was missing. So the other thing that I'll add from what you all said is that 3 weeks or so ago, Montreal beat Vancouver at home 5-2. And Kirby Dach scored 2 goals in that game. So I want to be on his goal scoring prop here at plus 325. But they also went up 3-0 in the first period in that game. So I'm going to split my bet between the first period puck line and the full game money line on Montreal. And you can get the first period puck line at plus 165. If I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let me check that. Yeah, that's right, 165.
All right. There is a little bit of injury news I shared in the group chat earlier. Gallagher is out for Montreal, and so is Savard, a defenseman.
Yeah. And Hoffman. Yeah.
And Monty's starting. So, I mean, all of that makes sense for the line movement, but so even moving from the starting 170 was odd, I think. Like going to 200 is way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm fine with how Montalban has played lately. So, BetStamp, use code WILD in the referral code section. Do your line shopping, find the best odds for whatever you are betting on a daily basis. If you want to find my premium plays, I do have a 3-pack up tonight. One NHL play that I went over, a play in the NFL, and a play in the NBA. You can get that package at Picks and Parlays. Link is in the description below. Best bets for today. I'm taking it because I can get it at a 5.5 now. St. Louis and New York Rangers over 5.5. I don't see why it should be a 5.5 with how St. Louis is playing, allowing goals to everybody. I know the Rangers are struggling with their offense, but what a perfect opponent at home to face in the St. Louis Blues and Jordan Binnington. So give me the over 5.5 in St. Louis and New York. Will, best bet for today. I know you like most of your bets the same, but if there was one that stood out to you, what do you think it is?
Yeah, so we'll just go with implied probabilities. I'm on 3 dogs tonight who even my projections have them under 50% chance to win. So the best bet will go with Bruins 3-way in regulation. I think it's minus 110 at Canby. I would still take it at minus 115. Obviously, the implied probability is higher, so that's why I went with that for my best bet. How about you, Rye?
Bruins puck line is my best bet. I think Cassidy's homecoming gets ruined, and so I'm on the puck line at plus 140.
All right, yes, that is something that the IceX had mentioned. Bruce Cassidy will know how to stop the Bruins. We'll see.
No one can stop the Bruins.
Yeah, IceX. I know that everyone's supposed to fade their team, but you're maybe one of the few that probably shouldn't really be fading your team too much because they just, I don't know. We'll see. But if you've watched them this year, I haven't faded them, and I won't for the foreseeable future. But
they defy logic. Hockey teams should not be good for 10 plus straight years.
Yeah, and there won't be a show tomorrow. Reason is I will be on the Ice Guys show tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. So not going to do the exact same show all over again. So make sure to tune into that Ice Guys on YouTube, and I will be on there for tomorrow. But best of luck to everybody on your bets today. Let's all beat the bookies, and we'll see you again. Have a good one, guys.